Pro Football player Travis Kelce is pressed for time during the football season. So he does two things at once. Whether it's grilling while mowing.
Two things at once!
Or getting this season's updated COVID-19 shot at the same visit as his flu shot.
Two things at once.
You can be like Travis and ask your pharmacist about getting this season's COVID-19 shot at the same visit as your flu shot, if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
Thanks for tuning into our podcast. We love having you here, and it's our mission to bring you all the latest and greatest tips, skills, and know-how to make you the best that you can be. We know that you have it in you, and we're going to show you how. Now, let's get started.
This episode is powered by Poddex.
Thank you for tuning in today. You are now listening to That Will Never Work podcast with your host, Maurice Chisholm. Hey everybody. What's going on? Listen, y'all, I'm having fun talking about this building your brand, because as we're talking about it and discussing it and we're sharing with one another, I want y'all to know that I am learning at the same time as I'm doing my research a little further. Again, talking to many of you, and also taking my time to implement some of the things that I am talking about. So let me share a story with you, right? So most recently, I was a part of a local nonprofit, and as I am trying to speak with them about where we have been, right, and where we're trying to get to, understanding where our why we had started, and I'm saying we because I am a part of the organization, even though I might have stepped down from my position, but I'm still a part of the organization, right? So, but why did we start? What are our core beliefs and values, and what is important to us? And ultimately, there were something that had come up in just my research and just understanding who we are as an organization. And I believe that a lot of us struggle with this also. Ultimately, if you had to describe your brand in 3 words, what would those 3 words be? What are the 3 words that you will want your customers to use when they describe you and your brand? Also, what makes you special? So I asked that of the organization. We just had a meeting not too long ago, and I just asked that of the organization, hey, what makes us special? What makes us stand out from every other nonprofit organization that is in the area? And you know what? That was a very hard conversation. That was a very telling conversation, because I don't believe that we oftentimes look at ourselves from other people's eyes. I think it was very important to understand what are the 3 words that you would want your customers to use when they describe you. And so when I say that, I often think about myself and what is it that I really been trying to offer my clients, my customers, those that I come across. A lot of times, I think that I really want to impress upon them my respect for them in their for their time, because I'm a real big advocate for respecting people's time. Also, I really do believe that I try to encourage organizations and or individuals to really think outside of the box, think outside of themselves. I.e., if someone were to give you a blank check, how would you spend it? And is it that all you are doing or that you could think of would be to expand what you currently have, or to go totally outside the box and invest in something totally different? I wonder how many of us really understand those three words, and how do we articulate that in any and everything that we do. I'm going to be honest with you. Being in business for 10 years, I have lost it. And it's making me to rethink my own brand. It's making me to reshape the direction that I am going in. And I wonder how many of you are feeling the same way. Are you feeling like you're at a crossroads? Because here's what happened. 2020 has changed the way people do business, they view business, the way they are operating. You see a lot more videos, people making their own lanes. People are no longer doing the regular 9 to 5. So culturally, across the globe, everything has changed and shifted. So what is it that, as you're moving forward, because, in reality, a lot of things that we're talking about on this channel, at one time I was doing for individuals, and at this point in time, I'm not, because people have found out they could do a lot of this stuff on their own. So are we encouraging individuals to do that and to rethink how they are, how they're operating? And so in my case, where I want to respect other people's times and execute on their deliverables and things like that. Now at this time it's like, hey, am I being as transparent and as honest that say, you know what, you really don't need me. All you really need at this time is encouragement moving forward. Someone to call on if you have a question or you're stumped, instead of me doing the work for you. So what are those three words that I've been struggling with for myself? And I'm still struggling today. I really have no idea. I have no clue what it should be, what it should look like, how it should feel, because these three words should ultimately have some type of feeling towards them. And hopefully that they bring excitement and joy to your clients and or customers when they think about your name. So timely, honest, transparent, dedicated, committed. What words help to describe who you are? And one word that I mentioned to this organization the other day, and it got a lot of oohs and ahs. And I wonder how many of us are in this space of being a visionary. Sometimes I would like to consider myself that, being a visionary, being able to look above and beyond and past, put things in perspective. But the other side of that is there are some visionaries that can't do the work. And some people will say, from a biblical perspective, you have one and not the other, and so forth and so on. So it all depends on who you're surrounded by and around. But how many of us can think of an idea, be able to really critically think about who we are and what we are and where we're going, and then put into action? Sometimes it's not the easiest thing because life happens, right? And then we get down on ourselves in that process. And sometimes we're really hard and critical on ourselves in that process. And that's only because we have higher expectations. we're ready to move forward. We're ready to take the world by storm. And it seems like nothing's happening, but that's only because at that particular time it's not right. It's not, you're not ready for that. Because there are certain things certain steps that you still might have missed or skipped. And the only thing is that you probably don't know what you missed or skipped because you haven't spoken to someone else about it. So are you an organization that's not afraid to ask questions, not afraid to ring the bell or answer when someone rings the bell? So I encourage each and every one of you to take a look at what makes you special. Take a look at what you want when someone describes your organization. What are those words that you would want someone to say about your organization? And does it invoke some type of emotion? Because keep in mind, emotion sells. Emotion sells. They could love it, they could hate it, but it could still sell. Let's understand this too, as I leave this thought with you. Why does reality TV, why is it so popular? A lot of it invokes emotion. Now, the question always becomes whether or not some of these people really like each other, behind the cameras and things like that, or they continually playing a role, right? But ultimately, drama is what pulls people in, because in some cases, people's lives are not as exciting or appear to be not as exciting. But they haven't taken the time to look at themselves and say, hey, you know what? I am it. I am that individual. I am that person. I am a visionary. I am lovable. I'm huggable. I am in a position to make change. I'm in a position to influence. I am in a position to motivate. Who are you as an individual? That ultimately makes your brand. Thank you.
Loved what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even greater things. Thank you.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.